guys, so today's video is going to be just a little chit chat get ready with me. Every time I film this, I swear, I filmed 2 in like the last few weeks, and both times that I go to import it into my computer, like the footage is just black. Like it imports and then it has like a little video picture of like a camera or like a video camera on the actual clip, and I go to like put it onto my computer and it says file is missing, and it only does it to my get ready with me videos. I have no idea why, because I filmed, and it's like usually I have my get ready with me videos in like a few different clips because my camera overheats. Hopefully you are seeing this on YouTube right now, because that means it worked. But today I am just going to talk with you guys while I get ready. You know, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm just kind of, think I'm just going to film videos today. So I'm not really going anywhere that I know of. So I'll just chit chat, get ready. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my trip that I went on a few weeks ago. Or 2 weeks ago, probably by the time you're seeing this. And also, I did ask for some Q&A questions like 2 months ago almost, and I never did a video, so I might answer some of those questions as well. And yeah, let's just hop right in and get started. I'm going to use some new products. I've had a few foundations that I've collected over the months, or like the last month since I've been like on summer break, and I just haven't really tried them out yet, so I'm going to be trying them out, and a lot of them were more winter or summer shades and not winter shades, so I'm now getting around to trying them. I'm just going to pull my hair back though. I had just a little bit of mascara. So I'm going to be really extra and apply 2 different primers. I'm going to do the NYX Pore Filler on my nose and like my T-zone area, and then where I have pores, and then the Becca Backlight kind of all over on the rest of my face, because I am going to be trying the Maybelline Stay Better Skin Foundation. I've had this foundation for a while, but it's been a little too dark for me, and I think it's like going to be a good match now that I'm tan. I have like tried it a few times, but like only for filming. So yes, let's just talk about my summer trip. I will list all the products I'm using in the description box if I forget to tell you what I'm using, because I'm telling my story. So my family went on a vacation a few weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago now. Or we got back 2 weeks ago. And it was a lot of fun. But it was mainly just driving. When we go on, we have like an RV that we drive around. Duh. A few summers ago we went down, I live in Minnesota, so we went down to like Florida, whatever. This summer we went out to California. And we were on day 3 of our trip. And our camper decided, we were in Nevada, like literally in the middle of nowhere. Well, we were 12 miles out from the closest town, and it was like this complete desert, basically. And we were just cruising along. It just had become a third, I'm just using a foundation brush to blend this. Just became a 3rd lane passing zone. And we were on this like kind of like highway thing, and all of a sudden our camper started to shake, and we were like, what the heck is going on? We thought it was the tires, because 2 summers ago when we went on a camping trip with my cousins, before my cousins had just left, like they headed home a little bit earlier than we did, and like the next day that they left, we were driving back, and our front tires, like the alignment of the tires was all messed up, and we almost blew a tire while driving because the alignment was like separating them. This camper has just put us through hell. I'm not even kidding you. The camper started to shake, and we're like, what the heck is going on? All of a sudden it started to smell like kind of burning rubber, and we were like, oh my gosh, it started smoking. So we obviously pulled over, and my dad got out and was looking. We were thinking it was like a tire or something, so he was looking at the tires, whatever. All of a sudden he like got under and looked like in the engine area and started yelling, "Car's on fire." And we were like, okay, so we pull a car, the car I actually drive, we pull behind our camper, because that's what we got the car for, was to pull behind our camper. So I was thinking, oh, that car's on fire. And then I also thought I heard tires on fire, so I thought he was yelling, a tire's on fire. Whatever, we're running out of the camper, and come to realize it was our engine that was on fire, and it was like a piece of rubber was caught on, or like had gotten onto the engine or something, and it was burning, and there was like oil leaking, and it was like starting on fire. So my dad's like grabbing the fire extinguisher, running, and like going to go put it out. All of us kids are running out, because it's like my cousins and I are all in the camper. We're all running out of the camper like, what the heck is going on? I'm going to take my Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Foundation. I'm going to do half my face with a sponge and the other half with a brush because I never use a brush, and I thought I'm just going to try it both ways just because for the fun of it. Just trying to put the fire out. A serviceman pulls over and just happened to drive by and see us freaking out, I guess, and he was like, what the heck is going on? So he went in there and he was looking at it, and as he was looking at it, it started on fire again, so we put it out. And then we were just sitting there. We were like, what is going to happen? So we had to call a tow truck because we actually, well, first of all, we called somebody who was in the nearest town to just come look at it and be like, is it even possible, like a quick fix that we could keep going? And we waited for them. They came. It wasn't. And so then we had to call a tow truck, and we were like, yeah, you can't finish your trip like this. The engine was literally shot, like, wouldn't even start. So, had to call a tow truck, and the tow truck came. Like, we were sitting on the side of the road for like 2 hours. The tow truck finally came and hooked up the camper. We had to unhook our car that was attached to the back of it. And we had to drive an hour and a half to 2 hours back to Salt Lake where we originally were earlier that day. And it was pretty, I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Salt Lake or on these salt flats, but there's literally just salt flats on the side of the road from like dried up salt from like the lake, I guess. And it's really cool. And the first time we drove by, we're like, wow, we really need to get a video of this. How often am I going to see this? We drove on that road 4 times on this trip, and it's like an hour and a half stretch because we drove there one day, we drove back the next, then we ended up driving there and back again. We headed back to Salt Lake, brought it into the Ford dealership because that is where the engine is made in our camper, and we were like, how long is it going to take for you to get this in? And it was like, we're not going to get it in until at least next week. And so we were like, oh great, what is going to happen? So we ended up renting a car and not leaving Salt Lake until 2 o'clock the next day. We had to stay in a hotel. And we drove 14 hours through the night, got to San Francisco, California, because that was our next stop, because we had tickets for Alcatraz. I'm going to take my e.l.f. blending brush. And we drove 14 hours through the night to get to San Francisco, just in time to go to Alcatraz. We got to San Francisco at about 4 a.m. We went to bed, got up at 8, got ready and left for Alcatraz. It was insane. I mean, we had fun. We stayed in San Francisco for a little bit. And then we went down to Monterey, California. We left our car in Salt Lake because we were like, you know, we just didn't want to deal with it. It had a few things that needed to be fixed, so we just left it there and they actually fixed it. And then we came back and drove that thing home from Salt Lake, and it was insane. We were supposed to go to like California, Oregon, Washington, but we really only had time to go to California and then came back. So it was still fun. I'm glad we got to make it to California, but it was still a bummer that we couldn't get to Washington, Oregon, because those are the only 2 states I haven't been to out west from Minnesota. I'm just gonna add a little more. So it was still fun, but it was a lot of driving. That's all we did was drove, basically. I'm still, like, we've been home now for, it'll be like 2 weeks in a couple days that we've been home, and I still have not gotten in a car and driven more than 10 minutes because I am not getting in another car and driving for a long time. I'm so done with driving. Okay, I really do like this foundation. So yeah, that was my trip. It's always eventful. Just, life is eventful. So yeah, I did do a video montage of our trip actually, and it's already uploaded on my family's YouTube channel. We don't upload very often, but when we go on trips in the summer, I usually do videos on it, so I will link that down below. Actually, my family's channel is always linked below, but I'll link the video down below. I think it looks pretty much the same with a brush versus a sponge, but I just always like to use a sponge. It makes it look more nude. Okay, so for concealer, I have really been reaching for the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I don't know why, but I just have, so that's what I'm going to use. Actually, first off, I'm going to take the Maybelline Age Rewind because I've been liking this too, and just kind of put this like in the inner corner here just to brighten a little bit because I have been liking this. And then I'll just take a little bit of the Fit Me just to add it, just to add a little bit more coverage, but not a lot. And then a little on my nose, chin. For her trip, I literally put on mascara like 2 or 3 days. And I wore, no, mascara was the most amount of makeup I wore the whole trip. Isn't that crazy? Now I'm just going to take my number 7 loose setting powder. I feel like I've been hearing more people talk about this. I got this and I didn't even know much about it, but I just picked it up. And I'm not a big loose setting powder person. I don't bake a lot. I'm not that high maintenance, but not saying if you do bake, you're high maintenance, whatever. But I'm gonna bake a little bit with this. But I've been hearing good reviews on this, and I've had this for a while. I don't really like this sponge. I do, like, it's really nice, but it's already like tearing. Like, I don't know. Does anybody else have that problem? I'm gonna start off by using, actually, you know what? Let me do my brows first because I'm just gonna let this bake sit. I don't wanna mess with it. I'm gonna start off by doing my Anastasia Brow Wiz. Am I recording? Yes, I am. I have it in the shade medium brown. I'm just gonna kind of outline my brows a little bit with this. I feel this step helps me anyway, my brows. Because the shade is a little bit more good for my brows. So I'm just gonna kind of outline a little bit. Is that thunder? That could not be thunder. It's supposed to rain tonight? Take the NYX Tame Frame. I have it in the shade Brunette. I feel like this is a little red for me, but maybe not. I don't know. We're just gonna go for it. I changed filming rooms a few months ago. I don't know if you knew that. Their room had, it was really funny actually. The other room that I was in had this weird window where it was just like open to the hallway and it was just a window, but there was like no glass, like you could stick your hand through it. If anybody was like in the same area as me making noise, I could hear it. I'm so fortunate that I have a room, like so fortunate. Like you don't even realize how appreciative I am of it. It just kind of worked out too because we think that that room is just a better exercise room, so we actually turned it into an exercise room. And it was pretty small, so like I don't need a huge room. So it just kind of worked out. And it was like, what else are we gonna use it for? But we had a different room, which is this room, and it's in the opposite end of the house. It's actually very nice because this room actually has a bathroom attached to it. So I have my own bathroom just right here. It's so nice. I mean, this is technically not like a room because there's no windows in this room. This is technically supposed to be more of a storage room, but I don't understand why there would be like a bathroom connected to a storage room. I don't know, but I will do a studio tour eventually. I'm still trying to set up. I've been messing around with it a little bit. Not even just this background, but more just behind the scenes of it all. I actually kind of like this product, and I didn't think I'd be a huge pomade person. I have not tried the Anastasia Dip Brow. I do want to try that. I feel like that should be the next thing, like more expensive product splurge that I make, because it just seems like it would be a nice, like it would last a while too. Just set my eyebrows with this Essence Make Me Brow and Blondie Brows because I don't want my brows to be too dark. I actually like to do a blonde eyebrow gel. It's gonna be 2 years in this fall. That's crazy that I've already had Simply Hope for almost 2 years. I've been doing YouTube for like 4 years in August because I did have a channel with my friend. Just brush this big way. Out of questions, Kelsey asked, what is your favorite movie and TV show? Well, Kelsey, I just finished watching The Fosters on Netflix. I finished all 4 seasons and it was very good. The ending I feel like becomes a little more unrealistic with all the things, like these kids are in high school and I feel like just some of the things they do are a little unrealistic, if you know what I mean, if you watch the show. But like, I don't think it's bad. I am excited to see season 5, but I also watched so much of it and that was a lot. So I'm kind of glad that I finished season 4 and season 5 is coming out on TV, so I'm kind of taking a break from it for a little bit. I am going to take the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder in Natural or the light bronzer one and bronze my face up a little bit with this, but I'm also going to be using an oldie but a goodie. I used to love this product so much and I hardly use it anymore. The e.l.f. contouring palette, or the contour palette. I might take a little bit of this bronzer too after I use this, and then I'm going to contour. So yeah, I would say that is Oh my lordy, I got a lot. I do like to watch like Baby Daddy if you just want a funny show on Netflix. So the episodes are only like 20 minutes long, so if you don't want to get into like 40, 50-minute long episodes. I did watch 13 Reasons Why when it first came out. That show was very sad, but like being honest, there's a lot of swearing in it. But honestly, that is what it's like in high school. I think that it is very realistic. I'm going to try and get in this bronzer shade. I don't like how the pan is so small. And these are very pigmented. So, I don't like how orange this is. I don't really like orange toned bronzer. I think that's why I like my Physicians Formula bronzer, because it's not very orange toned. Favorite movie? You guys, I just watched The Passenger, or Passengers, I'm pretty sure. We rented it on Redbox the other day, me and my friend Savannah. She's been on a bunch of my videos. That show was really good, like very good. I'm going to contour just a little bit with this powder just because I miss using this palette. On this out, I got a little heavy-handed. I'm going to bake right here. Also watched A Dog's Purpose. Oh, that was such a good movie as well. I love that movie. I also like the Divergent series. I read the books, so those are one of my favorites. I love Zookeeper is a good movie. We Bought a Zoo is one of my favorites because that basically describes my life. I'm just going to be taking this Tarte blush and flush. I never use this because I never use shades like this, but it's really pretty. I feel like I went really heavy-handed, you guys. I need to kind of like tone it down a little bit. Holy cow, Hope. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? I'm going to be taking, actually, you know, let's pull out an oldie but a goodie. I used to be obsessed with this highlighter. Not talking about ice cream. The Makeup Revolution Shimmer Brick Radiant. This used to be like my one of the first intense highlighters I ever owned, and I loved it. So let's put that on. My favorite ice cream flavor, well, I really like mint chocolate chip, cookie dough, just chocolate. I'm like obsessed with just chocolate ice cream. I'm going to take a little bit of the bottom and then these top shades. This is really powdery though, so. This is one that's going to exaggerate a lot though. That is some intense highlight, you guys. This is a good highlighter. Okay, I always have to top off a little bit of this Pixi though. Like, this highlighter just makes everything better. Everything. Okay, somebody asked, what do you think is the solution to all the world's problems in one word? Does somebody know what I'm going to answer to this? I think you guys can just guess. Jesus. Favorite type of YouTube videos to watch besides makeup and beauty? I would watch like vlogs. Watching videos though on YouTube, it's usually makeup. So I am going to be taking this Essence I Heart Color Intensifying Eyeshadow Base. This is the only drugstore eyeshadow primer I have. I need to get Milani stuff, but my Target does not have Milani. Some Targets do, mine doesn't. So I always want to try more Milani stuff because I heard that primer is really good. I do like this Essence one, and I think it works pretty well. Like comparing it to my Too Faced Shadow Insurance, which is my favorite. I am going to pull my Carli Bybel, BH Cosmetics Carli Bybel palette out because I have not used this palette very much. And I'm not really sure if I really love the eyeshadows. They swatch really pretty, but they don't go on the eyes very well. But I've only used it a few times. These highlighters are awesome, so I actually might even add these into my eyes. I feel like they work better than the shadows. But we're going to try it out. I'm just going to be taking this shade right here that's like neutral tone and adding it to my eyelid. Country Life Happy White. Hi, Sarah. She said, if you came with a warning label, what would it say? My warning label would say, watch out, she likes to walk fast. Just kidding, I don't know. I really am a fast walker, so if somebody is walking slow in front of me, it drives me insane. I'm not really that way with, well, yeah, I am with driving. If somebody's not driving the speed limit, then I'm mad. Fabulous palette, because I don't think I really like this. I'm going to try out Fab and just take that, because that's a little bit lighter of a transition shade. Let's see how powdery these are. These are very, very powdery. I like to support other YouTubers, and I only paid like $5 for this palette because it was going on sale, but I really got to give my honest opinion, and I mean, you can't even really get this palette anymore, so I'm sorry, but I just want to use this for, it's just, do you see any color? I see no color coming out, and like I am like getting in that palette. I'm leaving chunks everywhere. Wish this had a little bit lighter of a transition shade. I'm just going to take, this is kind of like a reddish tone, but I'm just going to take it anyway and lightly put it in my crease. That's powdery too. Just to add like a light transition shade, just to add something in there. I'm just going to take this purpley shade. We're just going to go for kind of this tone in this palette. Ooh, that's a good shade. I'm using the same brush, by the way, just because, why not? I pull in a little bit of this deeper shade, but I am going to take a smaller brush for this, just a more kind of shorter brush, adding it more into the crease. I have this darker shade here. I'm just going to add it to the outer palette, or outer part of my eye. I don't know what this is turning into. These mattes, I don't like the mattes. That's my problem, I think, that I'm having here. What or who got you into your makeup, and why did you want to start doing YouTube? So, I would say either, I feel like my mom did a little bit, but it was more my grandma, because every time I would go to my grandma's house, I would take her red lipstick when I was younger out of her drawer, her makeup drawer, and put it on. I feel like I've always done that, and so I feel like I've always been into makeup like that. And my grandma, well, being at my grandma's house, and my grandma would always like help me buy makeup. My grandma still is awesome. She's the best person in the world. She's watching this right now, I bet. Hi, Grandma. You watch my videos. And she's just awesome. I feel like she just kind of got me into makeup. Why did you want, obviously, and watching YouTube videos really helped me too. And why did you want to start doing YouTube? Honestly, one day my friend and I were like, you know, that'd be so cool. Like, we can create a blog with like hair tutorials, because we originally started off with hair. And we were just like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And then we started to film a YouTube video. And the very first video we filmed was on her iPad. And it never was uploaded because it was the worst video in the world. But it kind of just started from there. We literally one day were like, let's just create a YouTube account. And we did. And it just started off from there. Start off with just this light bronze shade all over. I feel like these shadows don't really apply, like layer very well. So once you get them on, you don't really want to add anything else. I'm actually going to take this highlighter shade. I think this highlighter shade, these highlighters are nice. It's the eyeshadows I'm not a fan of. So, spritzing it with a little bit of setting spray. I like to wet my brushes because I just feel like it works better. Makes them more intense. But what content would you guys like me to be doing more on YouTube? I mean, like, obviously beauty stuff. What videos would you like to see? Yes, wetting that brush or dampening that brush. 1001% better. Do you see that difference? Yes. See what that highlighter did? No, these eyeshadows, no bueno. But this palette is like $15, and you get 4 highlighters. So honestly, 15. That's a little bit like $3 to $4 highlighter. That's actually a good deal for just the highlighters. But do I really want to recommend this for the highlighters? I mean, you're getting highlighters and eyeshadows. I really get the Hope approval just because the eyeshadows I just don't like. But the highlighters are nice. So if you were going to just get it for the highlighters, then that would be, you would like it. Take a little bit of this Essence gel liner first, then put this liquid on top, because I am not good with eyeliner. So I'm going to do this off camera and then I'll be back. This is the part of my makeup routine where I look at myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just screwed up my makeup. Are my eyeliner even? Not even at all. I'm using this Revlon Colorstay eyeliner, and I really like this liquid eyeliner. Curl my lashes with my eyelash curler. I should take this Catrice Glam and Doll mascara just because it is a lengthening mascara and I feel like it'll go well with these fake lashes. I'm taking the Eyelure lengthening lashes. Hopefully those went on really easy. I'm going to take this Marc Jacobs liner. I just have a little sample of it, and tight line just to make sure the lashes blend together. I'm going to go on to my lower lash line. I'm going to go back into that dark shade here and run it along my lower lash line. Now I am just going to throw the Catrice Glam and Doll mascara on my lower lashes. MAC lipstick in Velvet Teddy. I'm going to make it glossy, because I'm kind of done with that matte lip face. Stay Glossy and Best Blushing Belgraves. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Got to kind of chit-chat with me a little bit. I really like my makeup, so I am going to go film a few more videos. And yeah, thank you guys for if you made it this far in the video, let me know in the comments, because you are a true subscriber if you made it this far. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Let me know some of your video requests down below. and thumbs this video up if you enjoy these kind of videos, because I can definitely do more of them. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.